Welcome back. All right, so I figured I've been wearing Rangers all day, so yeah, I might as well just get another Rangers jersey out. So 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Let's go ahead and start things off looking at Washington and Toronto. It was Lindgren versus Stolars in this one. Early press by Washington. Shots are 2-0 in favor of the Capitals at 3 minutes. Radish couldn't bury one in close. Capitals press at 6.5 minutes, and the shots are 4-1 Washington at 7.5 minutes. They were in full control of the game at that point. We get a power play for the Caps. That's killed off. Washington presses with 9 minutes left. We get a power play for the Leafs. They wanted a penalty shot for William Nylander. It did not happen there. Knies is robbed. Puck's cleared out. That's killed off by the Capitals. 3 shots for Toronto on the power play. Caps get a power play that lasts 21 seconds before it becomes 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Strome's denied on a net drive. The Caps press in the final minute. It is 0-0 after one. Second period on a turnover at 106. Dowd tips one in close. Roy with the assist. It's 1-0 Washington there. Caps look for another. Sandin fires one wide on a rush. Timmins has a one-timer that's held. Shots are 4-1 Leafs at 4 minutes, but that one shot for the Capitals, of course, had scored. McMichael to Strome gets picked off. The Leafs rush. The fans call one. The referee does not. Caps press at a half. Leafs get pinned down a bit, but they're blocking the net. And then at 11:31, Tavares on a breakaway ties the game. Tanev with a fantastic pass to set him up, and that makes it a 1-1 tie. Matthews fires one high on a rush. The teams exchange rushes after that. Caps press with 5 minutes left. With 1:25 left, the Capitals get a power play. So after the second period, I should say, it's 1-1, and there's a power play for the Capitals starting the third, which the Leafs kill off just the one shot allowed. Caps go back to the power play. That was killed off as well. Shots are 3-0 Washington 6 minutes in. So Washington's not giving Toronto fans any chance to cheer, really. Radish to McMichael, a near miss. There's a post for OEL. The rebound's cleared. Again, the fans call when the referee does not. At one point in this game, both coaches were mad at the officials for what they weren't calling. The Leafs press. Nylander has a shot that's held, and then at 9:51, McMichael scores from Dubois, makes it 2-1. The Caps press with 7.5 minutes left. The Leafs get some pressure with 4.5 minutes left. There's some good blocking by the Capitals during that press. There's a near miss for Knies as the goaltender's been pulled at 6-on-5 with 1:12 left. The Leafs call a timeout. Whatever they discussed does not work out for them. At 19:03, Protas hits the empty net. Dowd and Wilson with the assists. Washington, an impressive 3-1 road win. They go to 18-6-2 with the loss. Toronto 16-8-2 on the season. Shots on net: 8-5 Washington in the first, 9-7 Toronto in the second, 11-7 Washington in the third. Final shots: 26-21 for the Capitals. Power plays: Washington 0 for 4, Toronto 0 for 2. The hits: 25-16 Toronto. Lindgren saved 20 out of 21. Stolars had a good night, 23 saves on 25 shots, just didn't have the goal support. All right, moving along. Seattle and New Jersey. So Grubauer versus Markstrom. Early chances for the Devils in this one. Stevenson has a net drive that's blocked. The shots are 4-0 New Jersey, 4.5 minutes in. Kraken press at 6 minutes. Dunn fires one wide. The Kraken press some more. Eventually they score on the rush. Burakovsky with his first in a while. Dunn with the assist at 10:14. So Dunn stays at a point per game after this one. But New Jersey would answer at 12:26. Luke Hughes roofs one from the left circle, his first of the season. Jack Hughes and Bratt with the assists. We then get a power play for the Devils. That's killed off. 2 shots on net during that. Things are pushy on a hold by Grubauer. McCann has a one-timer that's held in the final 30 seconds. It's 1-1 after the first. Second period. Kraken press at 2.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. They end up drawing a power play, though, and they score on it. It is Wright all alone in front of the net, so he's just left there to put it in. Tolvanen and Schwartz with the assists at 3:41. It's 2-1 Seattle. The Devils pressed for a response. In fact, the shots are 4-1 New Jersey, 6 minutes in. And at 8:02, New Jersey scores. Bratt from Jack Hughes and Dillon. It's past a screen and it goes in off. It pinballs around. It ends up going in off Adam Larson as well. So that makes it 2-2. The Devils then press for the lead. Burakovsky fires one high on a 3-on-1 rush. Borgen has a shot that's blocked. The Devils rush after that. Devils press with 4 minutes left. Jack Hughes is robbed on a breakaway. We get a power play for the Devils. Out of that with 3:19 left. That power play is killed off. 1 shot on net. It's 2-2 after the second. Third period early on, and it's a puck that's just lost by Grubauer, and then Dunn puts it off his own post trying to put it around the net, And so Meyer picks it up and puts it in unassisted at 53 seconds to make it 3-2 for New Jersey. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Although in this case tonight, Devils were kind of a little bit of both. Devils look for another. Cotter and Pesce are denied as the Devils press. In fact, the shots are 6-0 for New Jersey, 4.5 minutes in. Luke Hughes has a rush chance that deflects out. We get a power play for Seattle. That's killed off. The Kraken press with 5.5 minutes left. The Devils get some pressure of their own with 4 minutes left. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. Bjorkstrand has a slot shot that's saved, and the Devils hold on. They win this one 3-2. They go to 18-9-2 on the season. Seattle 13-14-1 with the loss. Shots on net, 16-5 New Jersey in the first, 12-8 New Jersey in the second, 8-7 New Jersey in the third. Final shots are 36-20 for the Devils. Power plays, Seattle 1-2, New Jersey 0-2. The hits, 28-24 New Jersey. Grubauer, 33 saves on 36 shots. I put 26. So I'm going to change that to a 36 because that doesn't make sense. You can't save more than what you face. Markstrom, 18 saves on 20 shots at the other end. So Grubauer had a good game. Just in the end, they didn't get enough shots and enough goals on Markstrom to get him the win. So that being said, moving along. Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. So, of course, the Rangers have been all over the news today. Pittsburgh comes into this one on a 4-game winning streak, so something's got to give here. Nedeljkovic versus Shesterkin. The shots were 2-1 for the Penguins at 3 minutes. Tomasino has a net drive that's held as he continues to be an absolute steal from Nashville. Penguins press at 5 minutes. Smith's denied on a breakaway. And they were doing a lot of talk about the trade and who else might be available and what else the Rangers might do and all this. So I may need to do another video on the Rangers soon. I don't know. Because to me it feels like they're talking about like just a sale, and I'm thinking they don't need to sell everybody. They might need to make a couple of moves, but don't overreact. An overcorrection by a team, that can be a bit of a problem. So O'Connor has a rush chance that hits the outside of the post. The Rangers, though, they're building some momentum. Good forechecking then by the fourth line of the Penguins. Hedl has a net drive that's defended. Penguins draw a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Pittsburgh after that comes to an end. Crosby's denied from a sharp angle. Malkin to O'Connor near miss. It is 0-0 after 1. Second period, early power play for the Penguins. That was killed off, but it had chances. In fact, the shots are 3-1 Pittsburgh at 4 minutes. Panarin to Lafreniere gets blocked. 2 minutes of 4-on-4, and out of the box, Lizotte goes post and in. So as we get back to 5-on-5, Glass and Carlson with the assists at 6:19. Kreider's then denied on a rush, but on the next rush at 7:28, the Rangers tie it. Panarin from the right circle buries it. Lafreniere with a nice pass there, and Trocheck with the assist as well makes it a 1-1 tie. Hedl then has a sharp angle chance that's held. The shots are 8-4 for the Rangers at 9 minutes. Malkin has a one-timer that's caught and held. We get a power play for New York. That's killed off. Penguins then get a power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 for the Rangers. That misfires. That power play is killed off, though. The Rangers press with 1.5 minutes left, and then on a rush, the buzzer beater goes. It's Panarin with his second goal of the second period. Trocheck and Schneider with the assists at 19:58. It is 2-1 Rangers after 2. Third period. Shots are 1 apiece at 3 minutes. The Rangers press. They're kept to the outside. Then there's a delay game call that gives the Rangers a power play. We end up with 21 seconds of 4-on-4. Then it's the Penguins' turn. Everything gets killed off just barely. Just after it gets back to 5-on-5. Tomasino ties the game with another goal. He scores from Bunting and Pettersson at 8:29. Penguins then press for the lead. There's a Rust wraparound that saved. The Penguins are controlling things until at 9:53, Riley Smith buries a rebound on a rush. Zibanejad and Kreider with the assists. Rangers get a power play. That's killed off. The Penguins press with 3.5 minutes left. But then on a 2-on-1 rush, Trocheck wires one at 18:22. Lafreniere and Panarin with the assists. They did not have Nedeljkovic pulled at that point. That's a goal with the goalie in the net. And that makes it 4-2. Igor gets tripped on an next play, and that draws a crowd. No call on the play. And I will agree with Ray Ferraro. Even if it's an accidental trip, it's a trip, and it should have been a penalty. But either way, the Rangers win this one 4-2. They go to 14-10-1 on the season. Penguins drop to 11-13-4 with their first loss in 5 games. Shots on net favored the Rangers the whole way. 10-6 in the first, 14-9 in the second, 8-6 in the third. Final shots 32-21 for the Rangers. Power plays, Pittsburgh 0-4, the Rangers 0-3. The hits 19-14 Rangers. Nedeljkovic saves 28 out of 32. Shesterkin saves 19 out of 21. And now, let's change boards. And another 3-game board. Columbus and Vancouver. You want to talk about a tale of 2 different games. It's Merzlikins versus Lankinen, and in this one, Kent Johnson misses an open net on a rebound, so that's a good start. Garland has a rush chance that saved. Darnay has a one-timer that's held. Only one of those counted as a shot, though. The shots are 3-1 Columbus at 5.5 minutes. Christensen fires one wide on a rush, and then at 7 minutes and 10 seconds, Olivier scores from Sillinger and Aston Reese. This is 14 out of 19 games where the Canucks allow the first goal. It's not a great strategy to win, but they have a good record when they allow the first goal. Canucks are stuck at 1 shot for a while. There's 2 minutes of 4-on-4. There's a shoulder save on a Monahan rush chance. And then at 12:18, also on a rush, Severson scores to make it 2-0 Columbus. Provorov and Marchenko with the assists. The Jackets press for another, and they get more pressure with 2.5 minutes left. And coming out of that first period, Columbus up 2-0. The 17 shots Vancouver allows, the second most they've allowed in a period all season. The most was 18 against Buffalo. The 2 shots they had in the first period, that's very low. That's their lowest of the season. So really rough first period, and then the second period things start to change a little bit. So early press by the Canucks. Provorov, it looked like he broke his thumb. Your thumb's not supposed to bend in that direction. So either it's broken or it was dislocated. Either way, that looked painful. So there's a power play for Columbus on the play, not because he broke his thumb or dislocated his thumb, but because of the play where he's tripped that leads to that. Things get pushy behind the Canucks net. There's a late cycle by Columbus, but that power play is killed off. Joshua to Garland, there's a near miss there, and then there's more pushing. And then at 3:52, on a feed from behind the net, Besser scores. Hughes and Darnay with the assists. It's now 2-1 Columbus. Besser to Pettersson, there's a near miss there. We get a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. Things are pushy after Hughes is hit at center ice. Canucks don't like that. You're going to touch their captain, you're going to have a chat with him. Columbus presses with 9 minutes left. The shots were 8-5 for Columbus with 5.5 minutes left. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Really chippy game. The Canucks end up with 1 minute and 7 seconds of 4-on-3 before it turns into a 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. There's a near miss for Werenski. Columbus presses, and then at 19 minutes, Elvis comes out to try to win the race to the puck. And which is fine, but when you try to clear the puck, don't give it to the other team. And so it hits, I think it hit Blueger in the chest, and so Blueger's like, okay, and he puts it over to Sherwood, and before Elvis can get back in the net, it's in the net. So Sherwood from Blueger at 19 minutes with the secondary assist to Elvis Merzlikins. Joshua's then denied and close, the rebound's held, but yeah, damage done, momentum swing, it's 2-2 after 2. Third period, the Canucks press at 1.5 minutes, and then at 2:17, Suter puts one off Elvis's arm and into the net. Garland and Soucy with the assists. The Canucks with their first lead of the game at 3-2. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Besser has a rush chance that saved. Columbus presses at 8 minutes. We then get a power play for the Canucks, and they score. DeBrusk with his first goal at home this season. He tips it in. Hughes and Besser with the assists at 10:22. Brock Besser has reached 400 points in his career with that one. Columbus then gets a power play. That's killed off. The Blue Jackets would pull the goalie down by 2, and Suter hits the empty net from Pettersson at 18:55. After an awful first period, the Canucks have a pretty exciting remainder of that. They win 5-2, wearing the skate jersey, of course. They go to 14-7-4 with the win. With the loss, Columbus 11-12-3. This road trip is not helping their playoff hopes. Shots on net, 17-2 Columbus in the first, 9-7 Columbus in the second, 8-6 Vancouver in the third. Final shots 32-17 for Columbus. Power plays, the Blue Jackets 0-5, Vancouver 1-2. The hits 28-18 for Vancouver. Merzlikins, rough night, 12 saves on 16 shots. Lankinen 30 saves on 32 shots at the other end. So Demko is the backup tonight, and Lankinen made some saves. And next up, Dallas and the Vegas Golden Knights. So Ottinger versus Hill, and the return of Mark Stone tonight for Vegas. The shots were 3-1 for Vegas at 2 minutes. The Stars then score, but is it goalie interference? Well, yeah. Hill had his hand over the puck. He had held it, and Robertson just knocked it out of there and knocked it into the net. You play to the whistle, but it was clearly Not a goal. We then get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. The shots are 7-5 Dallas at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Vegas. That was killed off as well. The Stars press with 8 minutes left. There's more pressure by Dallas with 6.5 minutes left. Vegas goes back to the power play. That becomes a 5-on-3, which was a mistake for Dallas because during the 5-on-3, Vegas scores. Hurdle on a tic-tac-toe play buries it. Stone and Theodore with the assists at 15-23. It's 1-0 Vegas. Dallas then kills off the 5-on-4. Dallas with some pressure with a minute and a half left, but it's 1-0 Vegas after 1. Second period. The teams trade turnovers. The only shot on net was for Vegas 3 minutes in. There's a net feed to Hanifin. Near miss there. Vegas presses at 4 minutes. Roy's denied on a net drive. And then at 6:39, Maverick Bourque with his second of the season. Blackwell with the assist. Dallas is tied at 1. Shots, though, are 8-5 for Vegas at 9.5 minutes. Pressure by the Golden Knights at the half. Stars draw a power play. That lasts 41 seconds before it becomes a 4-on-4. And not only that, but it's 4 minutes for Ben on the play. So Stone gets denied in close. And then during the second 2 minutes of the Ben double minor, at 15:39, Eichel scores. He buries a rebound. Shea Theodore with the assist. Vegas has the lead back at 2-1. Stars look to respond, but at 16:48, unassisted, it's Nick Roy with his first goal in a while. He makes it 3-1, and that's goals on back-to-back shots for Vegas, and it's 3-1 after 2. Third period, early power play for Vegas. Dorofeev has a chance to save. That power play's killed off. The Stars press after they're done killing that penalty as well. Shots are 4-2 Dallas at 3 minutes. Roy to Pearson gets picked off. Things are pushy on a hold by Hill. Stars press at 7 minutes. There was a post for Theodore from the slot. The Stars press with 7.5 minutes left. Vegas presses with 4.5 minutes left. Dallas would pull a goalie, and they'd score 6-on-5. Marchment from Johnston and Heiskanen at 17:26. Dallas would pull the goalie again. They're unable to generate anything more. Vegas wins this one 3-2. They go to 18-7-3 with the win. With the loss, Dallas 16-10, and they've lost back-to-back. Shots on net, 13-10 Dallas in the first, 11-9 Vegas in the second, 17-7 Dallas in the third. Final shots, 39-28 for the Stars. Power plays, Dallas 0-2, Vegas 2-6. There's your big difference maker right there. Hits, 19-15 Vegas. Ottinger saves 25 out of 28. Aiden Hill had himself a night, 37 saves on 39 shots. All right, and last of the night, Minnesota and the Anaheim Ducks. So Minnesota, top of the league. Anaheim, not top of the league. And let's go. Gustafsson versus Gibson. The early jump was for Anaheim, but the shots are 2-1 Wild at 3 minutes. Kaprizov has a tip shot that saved. And the announcers for the Wild noticed right away, Gibson, his puck control wasn't quite there. I don't know if it's his vision, what it was, but he just seemed to be a little bit off at that point. So the Wild press at 6 minutes. Bogosian has a point shot kicked aside. Middleton has a screenshot that just trickles wide. It goes through Gibson. Does not go into the net. Spurgeon fires one high on a rush. The shots are 6-4 for the Wild with 8 minutes left. The Ducks press with 5.5 minutes left. And it was a pretty fast period of hockey. Not a lot of whistles and no goals. 0-0 after 1. Second period, Merrill has a one-timer this block. Good forechecking by the Wild. That leads to a power play for Minnesota, and they score on it. Rossi has tips in a net feed. Kaprizov and Spurgeon with the assists at 4:22. The shots are 3-2 Wild at 6 minutes, and at 8:03, Rossi scores from Boldy and Faber. This is where I remind you that ugly goals count just the same as all the rest. So it wasn't the prettiest goal, but it's credited to Rossi. Originally it was credited to Boldy, but I guess Rossi touched it. Either way, it is 2-0 Minnesota. And then at 10:51, Boldy scores from Rossi and Kaprizov. So that's 3 goals in a little over 6 minutes of game time. And they almost scored again. There's a quick whistle which bails out Gibson. He did not have that puck. Things get punchy because the puck gets put in because, it was never covered. And so if you put in the puck after the whistle, team's going to have some words for you. The Wild emerged from that with a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Minnesota after that comes to an end. Ducks press with 4 minutes left. Strome couldn't hit the empty net. 2 reasons. 1, Philip Gustafsson's stick prevented it. And 2, he wasn't able to lift it over that stick of Philip Gustafsson. 40.8 seconds left. The Wild get a power play. So that rolls over into the third period with Minnesota up 3-0. There's good news and bad news. The good news, the Ducks officially kill off that penalty. The bad news, at 1:21, just after the penalty came to an end, Kaprizov buries a loose puck. Foligno and Boldy with the assist. So again, it's rebound control, and Gibson just not quite sharp tonight and that makes it 4-0 for the Minnesota Wild. Shots are 3-2 for the Wild at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Ducks. That was killed off. 4 shots on net for Anaheim there. Wild press at 7 minutes. The Ducks with some pressure at 9 minutes. McGinn has a rush chance that's held. Wild with some pressure with 4.5 minutes left. But the Ducks would score at 16:37, and it's McGinn. He scores from Fowler and Leeson. Then with 3:16 left, Anaheim gets power play. So they call a timeout. They pull the goalie. It's a 6-on-4. Eventually, Yakov Trenin gets his first goal of the season, his first point in 21 games. That is a shorthanded goal, just barely, because it's scored at 18:43, just before the penalty came to an end, and that makes it 5-1. That is your final score. Minnesota goes to 18-4-4 with the win. With the loss, Anaheim 10-12-3 on the season. Shots on net, 11-5 Minnesota in the first, 15-9 Minnesota in the second, 13-7 Anaheim in the third. Final shots 33-27 for Minnesota. Power plays, the Wild 1-for-3, Anaheim 0-for-2. The hits 21-15 Anaheim. Gustafsson saves 26 out of 27, and Gibson 28 saves on 32 shots. So there you go. You're all caught up on Friday night's action. My day of wearing Rangers jerseys comes to a close. We'll see if I'm wearing Rangers jerseys tomorrow, if they have anything else up their sleeves. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below, as always, or I guess singular thought. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.